Okay, welcome back, YouTube. We're here on Sunday, week 3, May 2026. It looks like we're on the back end of a collision. Yep. Darby Allin playing the star performance of the show. TNA Under Siege drew 13,585 fans. I believe that's our highest attended event. Let's look. Okay, our best show was TNA Thunder for 78. Ace Austin defeating John Moxley for an 88 was our best show match. And then highest attendance was TNA Rebellion with just like 200 more people. So not bad. We will get into it. I think we have all the same champions. Let's look at WWE's real quick though. I don't know why I'm on the roster. Logan Paul is the United States champion, which is kind of hilarious. Raw Intercontinental champion is Dragon Lee. The Creeds are the tag team for Raw, and then the Usos for SmackDown. Omos is the U.S. champion. Bayley is the women's champion. Women's world champion is Asuka. And then world heavyweight champion is Carmelo Hayes. Not bad at all. Not bad. We're going to go to Thunder. Okay, Chris Jericho starts to show off with saying how great he is. And then we see Trent Seven take on Jason Hotch in a match. And Trent Seven defeated Jason Hotch for a 22. We then see Ace Austin Batista come out. And you know, Ace Austin's flaunting his world title. And Batista's saying that he will help Ace Austin keep the title no matter what. Chris Danger drew with Diego Hill following a double countout for 52. The way this happened was Diego Hill set Chris Danger up at the ringside on one of the barricades, and he went in the ring and went for a suicide dive when Chris Danger slightly moved out the way, and he done the suicide dive through the barricade and hit a bunch of chairs, in which both were unable to get back in the ring before the countout. AJ Styles defeated Dolph Ziggler with a phenomenal forearm for a 53. And then here it is, the Ace Club versus Kerry Morton and the Dirty Hills for a 57. Marshall Von Erich was off his game, which is actually weird to be honest, because he's usually on top of his game. But the crowd wasn't happy as they expected more angles and interview segments. It got a 44. Okay, Austin Theory and Richard Holiday start to show off for a 46. And then Christian Cage and Bryan Danielson hold an angle where Bryan Danielson goes to shake Christian Cage's hand backstage, but Christian Cage slaps his hand out the way. Dirty Hills versus Team Tap Out. Team Tap Out defeated the Dirty Hills when Eddie Edwards submitted Bobby Roode with an Achilles lock for a 50. And then Chris Jericho's just saying how great he is when the Ace Club's music hits, and Ace Austin, Marshall Von Erich, and Ross Von Erich comes down to the ring and starts attacking Chris Jericho. Then we see Dolph Ziggler make defense number 1 of the TNA Grand title. We see Finn Balor attack Shinsuke Nakamura backstage and leaves him all bloodied up. And then Ace Austin versus Christian Cage gets a hot 82, which is not bad. Okay, we have. Oops. Thea Hill cheats on Cole Carter. Whoops. Maggot moving on. The Smoking Aces regain their titles. That's not WWE NXT. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, let's try and get our well, can't do that. Let's see. Looks like our four biggest stars are right here. Batista doesn't count. TNA World Champion Ace Austin. I wonder what happened. I wonder if Ace Austin's anywhere close to being in the Hall of Immortals. Because I think it's just like a. Well, I know how to find it. Oh, he's 2025 for Independent Wrestler of the Year. You know what? Let's look at the annual awards. I never did a video on it. Seth Rollins was Wrestler of the Year. Tag Team of the Year was Adam Page and Kenny Omega. Young Wrestler of the Year was AZM. Randy Orton was Veteran Wrestler. Charlotte Flair was Female Wrestler. Independent was Ace Austin. WWE was this company. Huh, not bad. So our goal is to make a 99 rating or 100. So we gotta try hard. Okay, so New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Supers Juniors Not 10 was held. AEW Dynamite was held. NWA Power. Camille was said to be the star of the show. New champions is Natalia Markova and Sierra have just won the NWA Women's Tag Team titles. And we will see if there is somebody. I believe, don't hold me to it, but I believe we've already hired this woman before. We have. Yeah, we'll just give her what she's worth. Okay, so Kenny Omega is. Let's see who all we. His contract is almost up. "26 days," which is Stokely Hathaway. Colton Guns is almost up. So, not so bad. Let's look at WWE. Luke Gallows is up. Hey, I see two notable names that could be up. And imagine if we got Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes at the same time. That would be pretty good. I'd make Cody Rhodes champion quite quickly. Bryan Danielson, Cash Wheeler start Impact off with a bang with an 83 is not bad. Marshall Von Erich and Ross Von Erich demand a title match, but do not get it. They do not get it, but they do get a match against DIY. Randy Orton holds an angle for a 76, in which he talks about wanting to face Ace Austin, and Ace Austin appears at the front of the ramp and kind of flips him a double bird. Danny Jackson defeated Killer Kelly to make defense number 1 of her TNA Knockouts World title for 51. And the women's title feud storyline has automatically advanced with this segment. And then we see the Von Erichs versus DIY for a 77. The Von Erichs defeated DIY while Marshall Von Erich submitted Tommaso Ciampa with an Iron Claw. We then see Dolph Ziggler defeat Axel Dieter Jr. with a zigzag for 49. But Ace Austin Batista come out, and Ace Austin's showing his title off and talking about his recent victories. And Batista is telling that he'll make sure Ace Austin keeps his title around his waist no matter who's there. Chris Jericho says, "I'll face anyone in the back." Bryan Danielson versus Austin Theory. Austin Theory wins the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Television title with an 8-count down for a 63. And then Sami Zayn does accept Chris Jericho's offer, and their match gets a 64. Sami Zayn defeated Chris Jericho with the Brain Buster, but then Ace Austin versus Jeff Hardy for a 77, which is not bad. The show got a 68, which increased our popularity in 17 regions. Not bad. Okay, looks like we have a contract offer. Kenzie Page and Ryan Nemeth. Not bad. Okay. I don't know who Duke Hudson is. Okay, we're gonna go to the next. Okay, Cash Wheeler opened the show to Impact for a 59, which is not bad at all. And then Brock Lesnar and Camille holds a promo, and Brock Lesnar is telling Camille that her recent wins is very nice. And then Camille versus Chris Statlander gets a 53. Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn. Chris Jericho is mad about losing to Sami Zayn, in which their angle gets an 84. Marshall Von Erich and Bryan Danielson also gets an 84. And Marshall Von Erich and Bryan Danielson comes to a close stare down. And then Sami Zayn versus Shawn Spears for a 72. Sami Zayn defeated Shawn Spears by pinfall with a Brain Buster. And then Chris Bay and Batista. Chris Bay's saying that Ace Austin is a changed person. He don't even know who he is anymore. And Batista's music hits. And Batista says, "Watch who you're talking about, or else you might get a Batista bomb around here." It gets 71, which is not bad. And Lethal Injection versus the Rascals. Lethal Injection defeated the Rascals with the Swanton. And Finn Balor versus Chris Jericho gets a 48. And we see an angle from Randy Orton saying that the voices inside of his head says to go after Ace Austin again. Ace Austin comes out and, well, he actually cuts a backstage promo at Randy Orton, who is in the ring, and he's making fun of Randy Orton. And then the match up next is Ace Austin versus Richard Holiday, in which the match got an 81. Ace Austin defeated Richard Holiday. And the show was a 78. I think we may have just made the greatest show that we've done yet. Okay. Where am I look? Let's see. Let's go to Cody Rhodes and see if he allows us to issue him a contract. Because I'd really enjoy to get Cody Rhodes under contract. He doesn't. Feels that TNA are too small for him. Maybe next time. Okay, Cash Wheeler welcomes the show to TNA Thunder for a 65. And then we see Team Tap Out versus the Rascals for a 47. We then see Rhino come out and congratulate Richard Holiday on his recent match, which got I want to say an 81 or 79. Marshall Von Erich comes out and says that he wants a piece of the real deal. And Randy Orton is out, and he's saying that the voices are telling him to take Austin's title again. Sami Zayn versus EC3. Sami Zayn defeated EC3 with a brainbuster, and we see Ace Austin defeat Austin Theory for an 80. Not bad at all. 73. That's how we doing it. Okay, we see Marshall Von Erich versus Alex Shelley for the starter of the show. And Bryan Danielson ran in and attacked Marshall Von Erich mid-match. So this will mean that Marshall Von Erich and Bryan Danielson will go on to face at the Premium Live event. Chris Jericho comes out and says that he's the greatest before Marshall Von Erich slaps him. Sami Zayn defeated Cash Wheeler to make defense number 2 of the TNA X Division title for a 74. Ace Austin Batista come out, and Ace Austin's flaunting his title again. Randy Orton comes out and really wants a title shot at the upcoming pay-per-view. And then we see Ace Austin versus Matt Vandegrift for an 86, which is good because Matt Vandegrift is nowhere in their main event status yet. He is literal, just recognizable right now, but he is getting main event ratings. I mean, it's a beautiful match. It's beautiful. It's one of the greatest matches I've booked yet. Okay, we just made the greatest show that we've booked yet. But I believe we can do a better match than this tonight. We almost did last night. Okay, Diego Hill versus Dean Mohatizi opens the show, and Diego Hill defeated him for 47. Marshall Von Erich and Chris Jericho comes face to face, and Marshall Von Erich slaps Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho then goes on to defeat Brian Myers with the Walls of Jericho. Tony Storm and Saraya holds an angle for 48. Oof, cracked ribs, tough. And then we see Claudio Castagnoli versus the Goliath Black Taurus for 54. Okay, and then after that we see Sami Zayn versus Christian Cage. Sami Zayn defeated Christian Cage with the Brand Buster for a 60. And then we see the World's Most Wanted versus the Von Erichs for a 78. Man, that's the greatest match on the show yet. Ace Austin, Austin Theory holds an angle that gets a short 60. John Moxley makes an elaborate entrance, and it gets a 75. I really thought that we could bypass that record with another record of theirs. Okay, I'm going to do a different thing for the Joker's Wild. We're going to do a thing where it's basically like a match contract, I would say. When I say a match contract, what I mean is that, well, when I say a match contract, what will happen is, it's kind of like the Money in the Bank one, except for it can be done on any championship at any time. So, yeah. Sami Zayn starts the show off with a hot 85, and he welcomes the show to Against All Odds. And then we have Marshall Von Erich slapping the heck out of Chris Jericho again. Dolph Ziggler versus Claudio Claudio actually wins the TNA Grand title. And Sami Zayn makes defense number 3 of the TNA X Division title for a hot 76. Not bad. Danny Jackson vs. Camille vs. Trinity gets a 57, and Danny Jackson makes defense number 2 of the TNA Knockouts World title. And Marshall Von Erich vs. Bryan Danielson gets a 70, and Marshall Von Erich defeated Bryan Danielson by submission with an Iron Claw. And then we see Britt Baker vs. Tony Storm. Tony Storm defeated Britt Baker with a strong 0. And then Chris Jericho vs. Austin Theory. Austin Theory defeated Chris Jericho. And we see DIY vs. Lethal Injection. Tommaso Ciampa pinned Adam Brooks with a meeting in the middle. DIY makes defense number 1 of the TNA World Tag Team titles for a 73. And then Chris Jericho vs. Marshall Von Erich. Marshall Von Erich defeated Chris Jericho by submission with an Iron Claw. And then Randy Orton makes an elaborate entrance. And then their match only gets a 60. Okay, I'm going to stop here tonight, guys. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your friends, your family, share it with everyone. Don't forget, share it with your dog. They love wrestling just as much as you do. Just share it with your dog.